Hi everyone, Lucy here, and today we're going to talk more about the Toefl listening test. And specifically this time we're looking at lecture skill 7, detail. So in this lesson, first we're going to describe the task, then we're going to look at the method, and finally it's time for you to do some practice on your own. So the purpose of today's lesson is to understand exactly how to complete the listening detail question type. Okay, so what exactly is involved in this particular detail listening task? Well, you need to identify a specific point or fact stated in a lecture. All right, now what is our method? Well, as always, our step one is to listen to the audio and take notes. So remember that in the Toefl test, note-taking is an incredibly important skill. It's something that you need to practice if you don't feel comfortable with it yet, and it's something that you can always work on. So remember, when you're taking notes, you want to keep them short and sweet, okay? Try to get as much important information as you can, but don't write full sentences, okay? Just write down keywords, key ideas, things like that. Okay, so wonderful. Now it's time for us to listen to the audio and take notes. Are you ready? Here is our lecture. Hello everyone, and welcome to our final assembly of the year. As you know, graduation is coming up. You have all worked very hard throughout the last 4 years, and it is my pleasure as school captain to be standing in front of such a dedicated and talented group of future leaders. We have our wonderful school principal and amazing teachers to thank for our success. At each graduation, the university honors the most outstanding student with a Star Student Award. The school captain, principal, and teachers will vote, and the award will be presented at the graduation ceremony by the previous star student. The award celebrates academic achievement as well as community contribution. Although we are all stars, the award can just go to one student. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get some useful notes. Let's take a look at our sample notes. All right, so we have things like graduation, school captain, principal, previous star student, and so on. Okay, now remember, you'll notice these are all just individual words, maybe a couple words or a phrase, but there are no full sentences here. Okay, so now our next step is to look at the question, okay? And remember, you're going to have to listen to the audio and take notes before you look at the question, which is why note-taking is so incredibly important. Okay, so let's take a look at our question. So it says, who will be presenting the Star Student Award? Is it A, the school captain, B, the school principal, C, the former student of the year, or is it D, the teachers? Okay, our next step is to check your notes and eliminate any answers that are wrong. Now these answers maybe are too general, they don't match, maybe they talk about something that wasn't mentioned in the lecture. So let's take a look again at our question and our notes. Let's put them side by side. And I want you to see if any of these answer choices are obviously wrong. Okay, now what is our next step? Obviously, our next step is to actually answer the question. Now, you need to choose the remaining answer that matches the detail in your notes. And before I give you the answer, do you have an answer ready? Okay, so let's take a look. What is our answer? It is C, the former student of the year. And you can see in our notes it says, previous star student present. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too scary for you, because now it's time for you to do your own practice, okay? If you don't already, make sure you have a pen and paper ready to take those all so important notes, okay? So now it's time for you to practice. First, you're going to listen and take notes, okay? Are you ready? Here is your lecture.
Book Award and Pulitzer Prize for Fiction, and it was cited prominently when Steinbeck was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1962. Set during the Great Depression, the novel focuses on the Joads, a poor family of tenant farmers driven from their Oklahoma home by drought, economic hardship, agricultural industry changes, and bank foreclosures forcing tenant farmers out of work. Due to their nearly hopeless situation, and in part because they are trapped in the Dust Bowl, the Joads set out for California, Along with thousands of others, they seek jobs, land, dignity, and a future. The Grapes of Wrath may well be the most thoroughly discussed novel in criticism, reviews, and college classrooms of 20th century American literature. The Grapes of Wrath is referred to as a great American novel. At the time of publication, Steinbeck's novel was a phenomenon on the scale of a national event. It was publicly banned and burned by citizens, it was debated on national talk radio, but above all, it was read. According to the New York Times, it was the best-selling book of 1939, and 430,000 copies had been printed by February 1940. The book was noted for Steinbeck's passionate depiction of the plight of the poor, and many of his contemporaries attacked his social and political views. Steinbeck was attacked as a propagandist and a socialist from both the left and the right of the political spectrum. When preparing to write the novel, Steinbeck wrote, "I want to put a tag of shame on the greedy bastards who are responsible for this, the Great Depression and its effects." He famously said, "I've done my damnedest to rip a reader's nerves to rags." This work won a large following among the working class due to Steinbeck's sympathy for the migrants and workers' movement and his accessible prose style.
Okay, so hopefully you have some notes that are useful to you, because now you get to look at the question. And remember, when you're trying to choose the correct answer, first you want to eliminate any obviously wrong answers, then that can help you to choose the correct answer. Okay, so get out your notes and compare it to this question. Okay, before I give you the answer, have you chosen an answer of your own? If not, go back, pause, take a look. But otherwise, here we go. So what is our answer? It is D, for propagating socialist views. All right, how did you go? Hopefully that went well. Thank you so much for watching, and